Those are the Bellagio fountains behind me. I got a really good view in my Paris room. But today is the 28th. Another MGM Rakeback promotion is starting, and this is the 5th one they've had in the past 16 months. I have played hours at MGM during all of them. I know how it works. A lot of people last time on Twitter weren't following, and they were like misreading some of the details. So I will explain to you what it says on Bravo. Basically, it's hours for money. You play hours, you can cash out the hours you have accrued for cash, but there is a little more to it, so let's get further into the details. First thing I want to go over, this is the entire page on Bravo of the details for this promotion. First thing I want to go over is just the information, not the payouts yet. So if we look at this top part and we zoom in a little, the most important thing is the amount of money. $200,000 is in the fund for this specific promotion. And at the bottom of this paragraph, you see, once the $200,000 is spent, it's gone. Once the $200,000 is cashed out by the players, it's gone. So this end date up here of April 27th doesn't actually mean that much. So if there were $200,000 in this fund, I would expect the end date to be around March 14th, Pi Day, something like that, 6-7 weeks. That's usually what it takes. But there is a new feature, and it's not quite $200,000 that will be cashed out from this promotion. So let me explain that part to you. So what is this new feature that there's information about on the bottom? Let's zoom in, and there are some bonuses that players can earn. So first of all, let's look at this first line. The first 10 players to hit 75 hours, each will receive $599. Also, the first 5 players to play 150 hours will receive $2,500 each. And the first 3 players to play 300 hours will receive an extra $5,000. Now this is in addition to you cashing out your hours for money. These are just bonuses. You don't hit 75 hours and then reset to 0. You hit 75 hours, you receive $599, and you continue playing, and you can cash out your total hours whenever you want. But how does this affect the money? Well, 10 players are going to play 75 hours at some point, and each will be paid $599 from this fund, and that's $5,990 coming out of the fund. Also, 5 players will hit the 150-hour mark, and each will get $2,500. An additional $12,500 will be removed from the fund. Lastly, 3 players will play 300 hours. Each of them will get $5,000. An additional $15,000 will be removed from the fund. So just based on this new feature, just from these bonuses, $33,490 will be removed from the total fund of $200,000. So what does that leave? $166,510 will remain beyond the bonuses for people to actually cash out with their hours. Now with that amount of money, I think it'll be more like March 1st. All the money runs out via the bonuses and people cashing out their hours. So I've told you about the money and how it will be removed from the fund, but how exactly do you cash out your hours? What are the steps? Let me explain that part to you. So the first thing I want to talk about is how you cash out hours. So let's focus on this middle part in Bravo, and I'll zoom in a little bit. First thing I want to do actually is replace on the bottom left the hours and the payouts, because the spacing on Bravo is pretty poor. It makes it difficult to read. This makes it a lot easier to read. But first I'm going to focus on the words at the top. So after players cash out, they will reset to 0. So this is how it works. This is an example. Say you played 18 hours and you want to cash out this first line, 15 hours for a $100 payout. When you cash out, you reset to 0. It's not that, oh, I played 18, I'm cashing out 15, I'm starting my next cash out period with 3. No. As soon as you cash out, the rules say you reset to 0 regardless of how many hours you had. So you need to be very diligent. How do you do that? Last time in the tournament area at MGM, there was a card reader and a monitor. You could swipe your card and you could check all your promotions, so you don't have to bother the floor every time you want to check, and you can know like the minute you've hit enough hours. One thing to note is, say you played 14 hours and you're starting a new session at MGM and you only need 1 hour. After 1 hour, you need to ask the dealer to clock you out at the table, because your hours of the session that you're playing only go into your account once you've been clocked out. It's not constantly happening as you play. So you need 1 hour, play an hour, ask the dealer to clock you out. All that time you've played that day will go onto your account. Go over to the card reader and the monitor in the tournament area and see if you've hit 15.0 hours, and you could go cash out 15 hours for $100. That's how you do it. But if we go back to this payout scale I had on the left here, this is what you can cash out. So if you play 15 hours, you can cash it out, get $100. If you play 30 hours, you could cash out your 30 hours for $225, etc. I think the highest level that's possible to achieve before all the money runs out is 375 hours. In about 5 weeks, I think someone will fit that in, someone could fit that in, and this is what it would look like if you played that pretty quickly. You can get the $599 for being one of the first to play 75 hours. You get that bonus in the new feature. You could get the next bonus, be one of the first people to play 150 hours. You could get the $5,000 bonus, being one of the first 3 people to play 300 hours. And then when you hit 375 hours, you cash in your hours for $4,400. And I think the most someone can win in this promotion is $12,499. Now I think what will be common is people playing 60 and cashing out 500, and a big part of that is because amounts under $600, so between $1 and $599, there's no tax form. So I think you'll have some people playing 60, cashing out for 500, and doing that, 2 or 3 times. So what am I going to do? I'm not going for any of the bonuses. Those will go quickly. I'll hit at least 15 there. Maybe 30, maybe 60. I know last time I only got the minimum amount. I think the minimum last time was 18 hours, got me like $125 or something. So I don't force it. If I happen to get into some good games and play a couple all-nighters or something, that's amazing. Maybe I'll hit 30, maybe I'll hit 60, but in the past, these types of promos attract people who sit there and sometimes literally sleep at the table, and it makes for some games that aren't that great. So I'll give it a chance a lot. I do like playing at MGM, but I'm not going for like the 375 level or any of the bonuses or anything like that.
Yeah, I got it at the stadium.